What's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here continuing to cook up this NBA action, man. Y'all know we do here on the Jam Session. We cook up every single game, every single day, man. Money Making Friday, ladies and gentlemen. The last Money Making Friday of the regular season of the NBA season. I'm kind of sad about that, ladies and gentlemen, but we're going out with a bang. We got a really good card tonight. A lot of action, and I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts, my opinions on each and every one of these games tonight, and we're going to come out green. We're off a really good night last night. We smashed our NBA Player of the Night with the Detroit Pistons. We've now hit 3 in a row, looking for our 4th straight tonight. On the Jam Session, it was a solid night last night. Milwaukee handled New Orleans. Minnesota handled Memphis. So overall, it was a good night overall last night. So looking to keep the momentum rolling forward into this Money-Making Friday, man. I can't believe the regular season is gone. We got today, no NBA games tomorrow, and then Sunday will be the last day of the regular season. No NBA games Monday, Tuesday. The play-in tournament begins, ladies and gentlemen. So lock in. Let's do the damn thing, man. And let's enjoy these last couple of days of the regular season. We're getting ready to say goodbye to a couple of these teams here soon. As I always say, I appreciate each and every one of you that continue to tune in and watch this video. All I ask is that you smash that like button for me. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Instagram and Twitter all day long. There's a link for both in the description below. And, of course, I have premium plays over at the site, man. Money Making Friday, last one of the regular season. Let's do the damn thing, man. Without further ado, let's hop right into tonight's NBA action. Let's get her done. First game up. We got the Milwaukee Bucks out on the road facing the Detroit Pistons. Pistons, 5.5-point home favorites here in this one. From a playoff scenario aspect, these two teams are pretty much locked into where they're going to be. They can only flip with each other. Milwaukee has a 2-game lead over Detroit right now currently, but these two teams play each other last 2 games of the season to close it out today and then again on Tuesday. So, technically, Detroit can still jump Milwaukee in the standings. Milwaukee can only fall down 1 spot. Milwaukee can't move up. I like Detroit in this one. Even though they're on the back end of a back-to-back, so is Milwaukee. Milwaukee has to travel, though. Detroit does not. Double revenge game at home at the crib for the Detroit Pistons. Milwaukee won the first 2. The first one was way back in November on the 13th in Milwaukee. That game went to overtime. Milwaukee did win it. And the most recent one was on the 3rd of December in Detroit. Milwaukee dominated that game 128-107. But Detroit's a different team now than they were then. And I think tonight's a really good night for them to continue to try to establish some momentum heading into the postseason. That's really why we liked them yesterday, for those same reasons why I liked them today. Wouldn't shock me at all if Milwaukee prioritized health and sat a couple guys on the back end of a back-to-back with travel. I'm going to take the Pistons. They're sizable favorites at home in this game for good reason, in my mind, in my opinion. I'm going to lay the points with the Pistons. We keep rolling. We got the Orlando Magic out on the road facing the Indiana Pacers. Pacers, 7.5-point home favorites in this one. Playoff scenarios here. Indiana, low-key still battling it out with New York for the 3rd and 4th seed. Indiana, they can't go down. They can only go up. And so they're looking to close out their season on a good note, hoping that they can jump New York for the 3 seed. Orlando on the other side, this team is in the play-in tournament right now currently, and that's 9 times out of 10 where they're going to remain. I don't think Atlanta can jump them. So Orlando's pretty much where they're going to be, the 7th seed, and they're going to be in the play-in tournament. So it's likely that Orlando prioritizes health in a game like this tonight and just gets ready for the play-in tournament. Indiana still has some meaningful basketball. I understand why they're sizable favorites. This is one of my least favorite games on the card as of right now, though. Indiana on the 2nd leg of a back-to-back, laying these many points. They didn't look great yesterday. They haven't been a great ATS team all season. Neither of these two teams have. Small lean on Indiana just because they're playing the more meaningful basketball, but bottom of the barrel style game for me, in all honesty, with a huge card like today. Keep it rolling. We got the Atlanta Hawks out on the road facing the Philadelphia 76ers. Sixers, 10.5-point home dogs here in this thing. I don't like laying points with Atlanta. on the road, especially on bad teams. But we've been fading Philadelphia, and we're running out of opportunities to do so. We're fading Philadelphia in this one tonight. I know Atlanta's on the back end of a back-to-back with travel, but they blitzed New York yesterday. They should come here and blitz Philadelphia. Philadelphia, I know they beat up on Washington. It's not really saying much in my mind, in my opinion. Atlanta should flood them in this one. Lay the points with the Hawks in this one. Still gearing up, getting ready for the play-in tournament. We got the Boston Celtics laying 19.5 points on the Charlotte Hornets. Boston is locked up where they're going to be. Boston is the 2 seed in the playoffs. Charlotte, they're done. They're cooked. They're not playing for anything. This is a meaningless game. Open gym style game. Maybe an over. Points style game. Other than that, I'm cool. Laying 19.5 with Boston in this spot. We're asking for it. But in that same breath, I'm not interested in putting any money on Charlotte. So, forced to play it. I would lean towards Boston laying the points in this one. Not really one of my favorite games on the card tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Knicks laying 7.5 points on the Cleveland Cavs. Total 226.5. Cleveland, they're the 1 seed. They're resting. You know, it is what it is. At the time of recording this video, all these guys are game time decision. I think it's unlikely that they play tonight. On the other side, I told you guys New York is still battling with Indiana for that 3rd or 4th seed in the Eastern Conference. New York is on the back end of a back-to-back with travel after losing to Detroit yesterday. Bad 4th quarter from the Knicks in that one. Looking at how these two teams have battled it out this season, Cleveland has won all 3 meetings, 110, 104, 142, 105, 124, 105. Regardless of how this ends up shaping out, I don't believe the guys for Cleveland play, but I want the points in my back pocket with Cleveland no matter how you slice it. New York does need this game. It is a meaningful game for them. Cleveland, who cares? Honestly, it's probably going to be their attitude for this one. I still don't know if that justifies laying this many points with the Knicks, though. Cleveland is still, the 3rd best ATS team in all of the NBA. They fought hard last night against the Indiana Pacers. They didn't just lay down and let Indiana beat up on them, and I kind of got that same feeling about this one tonight. Cleveland has dominated the Knicks all season long. And honestly, I think Cleveland money line might be a look. Even if all these guys are out, it might be a look. So, small lean on the Cavs plus the points. Small lean on the Cavs outright money line here in that one. We got the Washington Wizards out on the road facing your Chicago Bulls. Bulls laying 16.5 here in this one. Total 237.5. A lot of lumber to lay with Chicago at home, you feel me? But there's really nowhere else to go. Washington is done. They're cooked. They're terrible. They got aired out by Philly. You get aired out by Philly, you can definitely get aired out by Chicago. Small lean on the Bulls. Bulls still looking to play some decent basketball as they gear up, trying to get ready for the play-in tournament, trying to make some magic happen and get a playoff series. So they probably come out here tonight, balls to the wall, and air out Washington, or at least they should. Small lean on the Chicago Bulls, land the points in that one. Got the Miami Heat out on the road facing the New Orleans Pelicans. Pelicans are done. Pelicans are cooked. We faded them last night. We're fading them again. We're running out of opportunities to do so. Miami, kind of the same thing I just said about Chicago. Looking to play some good basketball, carry some momentum into the play-in tournament, trying to get into a playoff series. So Miami, we trust them much more on the road, laying points, than we do at home. Miami should flood New Orleans based on a talent perspective, based on who's on the floor, and based on motivational factors. So I like Miami laying the points here in that one. We got the Toronto Raptors out on the road facing a team from Dallas. Dallas laying 12.5. Total 224.5. I'm going to lean towards Toronto. We're running out of opportunities to continue to cash with Toronto. Toronto was one of our favorite money-making teams this season. Shout out to them boys. Number 2 ATS team right now currently in the NBA behind the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies. Yes, we do like cashing with them much better at home than we do out on the road. I just don't think Dallas right now should be laying 12.5. I understand it, Dallas wants to try to establish some momentum heading into the play-in tournament. Coming off that, whatever you want to call that, against the Lakers, man. Morale's so low there in Dallas. They might win this game. I highly doubt it's by margin. They should win this game, but I highly doubt it's by like significant blowout margin. The morale in Dallas in basketball is at an all-time low. And I think that's not only felt through the fans, I think that's felt throughout the entire organization. Players, coaches, front office, everybody, man. Oh, you know what I mean? So laying 12.5 with them, I'm cool. They should win the game. They are the better basketball team with, a lot of meaningful things going on here coming up, in the play-in tournament. They can get into a playoff series, but I don't know. Laying 12.5 with them, I can't do. We got the Minnesota T-Wolves laying 19.5 points on the Brooklyn Nets. Total 216.5. Brooklyn, they're done. They're cooked, of course. They're not in the postseason. They're not playing for anything. Minnesota right now, man. Woof. We're about to start talking about these West playoff scenarios. We talked about a lot of the East ones. The East ones are pretty straightforward. The ones in the West, man, I would spend more time talking about them than justice it would do, in all honesty. So just know that the West playoff scenarios, everybody need a win to get the best playoff scenario. Pretty much. All right? Everybody playing hard tonight in the West to try to, do the damn thing. But Minnesota's laying 19.5. I'm going to lean towards Brooklyn. I know Brooklyn's injury report is disgusting. But Brooklyn's been a solid ATS team on the road this season, and I want the points in my back pocket. I think Minnesota gets in here. They just need a win. They don't need a win by margin. They just need a win. So, yes, they can flood the Nets. Yes, they can blow them out by 50. But in that same breath of a house of disappointment at home. Just when you think they're finna do something at home, they never do it. They never do it. So, yeah, I'm going to grab the points here with Brooklyn. I'm just grabbing 20. Minnesota wins. I think they fail to cover. That's just my thoughts. We'll see if I'm right. We keep it rolling. We got the Minnesota. I'm sorry. We just talked about Minnesota. We got the Denver Chicken Nuggets at home at the crib, laying 6.5 on the Memphis Grizzlies. Total 239.5. Denver, man. They're coming off a win over the Sacktown Kings on the road, 124-116. We've seen these two teams match up twice this season. This will be the last and final meeting between the two. Memphis won the first one, 105-90 in Memphis on the 17th of November. Denver won the second meeting, 122-110, 2 days later in November in Memphis. Not really much to take from those two games. Those games were back in November, man. We're way now in April. Coming into this game, I'm not really liking what I'm seeing from either one of these two teams. I'm not liking what I'm seeing from either one of them. Denver, you fire your coach and GM a week before the playoff starts. That's not bet on. That's not encouraging. That's not I like what's going on there material. It's the exact opposite of all of that as far as I'm concerned. And then Memphis. This has been the worst ATS team post All-Star break. They're now 5-21. I want to say they're 5-21 last 26 ATS. That's how bad Memphis has been from a money-making perspective. Memphis on the second leg of a back-to-back with travel after getting beat at home last night by Minnesota. Now they have to travel to Denver and play up there in that elevation. It's a tough ask, man. It's a really tough ask. I'm still waiting to see if Denver's going to be that same team without Coach Malone. I don't know. And the chemistry in Denver is not where it necessarily needs to be as far as I'm concerned. We're hearing reports about Westbrook having some beef. It looks like Michael Porter Jr. might be having a little riff in something. So I'm not liking what I'm hearing out of Denver right now either. So personally, y'all know usually this would be a Denver spot. This would be a Denver go stupid, dummy, crazy at home at the crib. We're not even going to overcomplicate it. We're going to lay it. I'm actually going to fade them here. I'm going to take Memphis plus the points. I think this is going to be a game that's going to come right down to the wire. I think Memphis has a legitimate chance to win this game outright. And I want the points in my back pocket in that event. So that's how I see the game. It's a tough game because I'm not liking how either team is playing right now currently. but I think Memphis does enough to keep this one fairly competitive. I don't see this as a Denver blowout. I don't. I think this is going to come right down to it. So give me the points in my back pocket with the Memphis Grizzlies. It's a lot of games today, ladies and gentlemen. I know we're doing some chatting, just letting y'all know my thoughts, man. Just letting y'all know my thoughts. We got our favorite money-making team up next, the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies. They're on the road in Utah. We ain't even got to say nothing, man. Utah's in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. They're at home where we like fading them. They've been a much better ATS road team this season. Thunder Buddies, yeah, they might be banged up. Yeah, they might be playing their second string. Yeah, they might be playing their third string. Yeah, they might be prioritizing health in this one. Guess who doesn't care? This guy, man. We're going to continue to trust the Thunder like we pretty much have over the last couple seasons. There's a reason they're the number one ATS team this season. There's a reason why they've covered more double-digit spreads, I think, than anybody in NBA history in a season. And I think this is just another one they add to that list. I'm laying the points here with Oklahoma City. No need to overcomplicate it. We keep it rolling. We got the Phoenix Suns, 5.5-point home favorites over the San Antonio Spurs. Total 232.5. Suns, they're done. They're cooked. Stick a fork in them. They shouldn't be laying over a bucket over anybody. Their season's over with. They didn't even make the play-in tournament after all that yapping over the offseason, how they were going to run it back. The season was going to be different. You didn't even make the play-in tournament. And now that you're done, officially done, now we're supposed to think that you're going to hoop. I don't think so. I'm not laying points with Phoenix. I think San Antonio money line's a really good look. Just my thoughts, just my opinion. Small lean on San Antonio plus the points and outright money line. We got the Golden State Warriors out on the road facing the Portland Trailblazers. Portland 14.5-point home dogs. Warriors. Warriors need to win this game. Of course, we already talked about that and why everybody needs to win in the West. Warriors are coming off that ugly loss 2 days ago, man. Harrison Barnes hit their ass with a full court, heavily contested game winner. Shit was crazy. Tonight, I'm going to lean towards Golden State laying the points. I don't love it. This is not going to be a game I bet tonight at all. Laying 14.5 on Portland makes my stomach hurt. I'm going to be real. A couple key things here. We've already seen Golden State beat up on Portland twice this season, 140-104 in Portland back in October, though. And then the most recent meeting was on the 10th of March where they beat them up 130-120. That one was in Golden State. However, small lean on Golden State here. Don't feel great about it. 9 times out of 10, I'm not betting it. We'll keep it rolling. We got the Sacramento Kings at home at the crib with the Los Angeles Clippers rolling in. Clippers land 6.5 here in this one. So I'm going to lean towards the Kings plus the points in this one, just following a formula we've followed for a lot of the season, which is don't trust the Clippers out on the road the same way we trust them at home. Clippers the best home ATS team in the NBA. I know they're balling. I know they're rolling, but they're coming off a very significant homestand. And I think Sacramento does enough to keep this one fairly competitive. The Clippers have dominated Sacramento pretty much all season long, 107-98, 104-88, and 111-110. Gut feeling style play that Sacramento comes in here and plays hard. I want the points in my back pocket in this style game. Really just don't trust the Clippers laying over 2 possessions on the road. Kings still playing some meaningful basketball, trying to establish some momentum heading into the play-in tournament, trying to get into the playoffs, trying to get into a playoff series. I'm going to lean towards the Kings ATS here in this one. Last and final game of the night, ladies and gentlemen, we got the Los Angeles Lake Show Lakers at home at the crib, laying 10.5 points on the Houston Rockets. Rockets are pretty much locked up to where they're going to be, the 2 seed, so very meaningless game for them. They're probably 9 times out of 10 going to prioritize health. Their injury report at the current time of this video is not officially out yet, but I'm expecting them to prioritize health in a game like this. The Lakers, they still need 1 win to solidify the 3 seed. 9 times out of 10, it is theirs, but to make it official, they need 1 more win. I think they get that win tonight. From an ATS perspective, not overly in love with it. I will lean towards the Lakers. They've earned the benefit of the doubt at home, at the crib. They've been one of the best home ATS teams in the NBA this season. I like the Lakers here in this one. It just feels like this is going to be the starters for majority of the minutes for the Lakers versus the B team of the Rockets. That's why the line looks like it looks. Lakers have been trustworthy at home this season. Small lean on the Lakers for me here in our last and final game of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we made it. Man, and I appreciate each and every one of you that continue to tune in and watch this video. All I ask is that you smash that like button for me. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Instagram and Twitter all day long. There's a link for both in the description below. And of course, I have premium plays over at the site, man. Money Making Friday, ladies and gentlemen. It's crazy that this is the last huge card of the season. Absolutely insane. Well, Sunday's a pretty big card too, but it's absolutely insane that the season is winding on down. Playoffs are right on the horizon. The play-in tournament starts when? Tuesday? Yeah, there's no NBA basketball tomorrow, so you guys will not see my face tomorrow, but we'll be back on Sunday for the last card of the season, of the regular season. So see y'all then, ladies and gentlemen. You know, Friday, think about hopping on a 3-day pass. Let's make some money this weekend. And yeah, see y'all later. I'm out of here. Peace.